Hi, Gemini. My name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your March 2016 forecast for the month. I am so happy to be here. It's a beautiful Southern California day. I wanted to take a moment to thank you specifically for your subscriptions to this channel and for your support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot, and for your donations. I've been receiving a lot of donations without expecting anything in return, and I just can't believe the generosity that's out there. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate your support. I am using the Connolly Tarot deck by Peter and Eileen Connolly. It's an Irish Celtic deck with the Celtic design on the back. I thought that the colors were so vibrant for our vernal equinox that we're having in March, so we're using the Connolly deck, and I'll shuffle throughout the astrological forecast. Let's start the top of the month on the 5th of March. We have a transit with Mercury entering into Pisces. Mercury is the planet of communications and the intellect, study, speech, the mind, analysis, details, and entering into the 10th house sector of career where you hold Pisces. This is another mutable sign like you are, Gemini. So this works for you. This is great for interviewing, for public speaking in the career, for writers, journalists, people looking for promotions. Mercury is an effortless energy when he's direct in having you really be seen and being heard in a great way. The cards are popping out all over the place. They really want to come out early into the reading. On the same day, on the 5th, Mars enters Sagittarius. So we have this fiery planet entering this fire sign. This is in your 7th house of marriage and partnership, which is beautiful because if you're looking to connect with a soulmate, Mars in the 7th house is what you need. Mars is a catalyst, stimulation, energy, stamina, passion, sex in the 7th house of relationship, marriage, soulmate, business partnerships. For those of you looking to start work and maybe a creative endeavor with someone, looking for a business partner or someone to take up half the work, half the slack, this is where Mars is giving you some assistance. You also have Saturn stationed in Sagittarius, Gemini. This is your 7th house. Saturn is establishing roots in your marriage sector or business partnership. And there's a restriction with Saturn here. Some of you feel stifled and like you've reached some limitation, and it's a little uncomfortable. And Saturn is going to retrograde on the 25th of March back through August 13th. So there is a 7-degree Saturn review area in your chart in the sign of Sagittarius between the 16-degree mark and the 9-degree mark is where he'll retrograde back to. I apologize if you hear that auto body shop on the corner. I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. If it gets too obnoxious, I'll consider pausing, but I like to keep with the flow. I can always read through it. So that 7-degree area where Saturn is retrograding in your 7th house of marriage is where you're having your review. Some of you Geminis are actually reevaluating your relationships if you're married. Or if you're monogamous and in a relationship with someone, you might be reviewing that as well. But this isn't light-hearted dating. So this isn't someone that you just casually are hooking up with. That's more 5th house. The 7th house is we're a couple, we're together, and there's a review here, and you're feeling a little limited in that area. Now, for those of you looking for partnership, Mars in the 7th is great. So you want to get out, get seen, and be proactive with Mars in the 7th. It's also our eclipse time. So on the 8th of March, we have our new moon total solar eclipse at 18 degrees of Pisces, where Mercury had entered. So on the 8th, we have the moon, the sun, Mercury, Neptune, and Chiron all stationed in this house of Pisces. So that's a lot of energy. In the 10th house of career, there is a new fresh start to what Gemini is doing for a living. And some of you could find yourselves in new jobs altogether, or headed into a new promotional area of what it is you're doing for career. 10th house is the limelight, it's recognition, it's a name change, it's a title change, it's the highest point on the astrological wheel next to your midheaven in between the 9th and 10th house. So there's a lot of prominence with all of this personal planet energy in the 10th, as well as distant planets. But on the 12th, Venus joins the party. Venus is going to enter Pisces in this 10th house of career. Venus is harmony and money. Because just as much as Venus rules Libra for love, the love energy that we associate Venus with so much, Aphrodite, she governs Taurus as well, which is the second house of possessions and security and financial security and self-worth and self-value. So Venus restoring self-value and finance into the 10th house, it's about an appreciation of what you're doing, Gemini. And I feel like you are feeling appreciated. You will be once this eclipse happens, and it could just pick you up and put you in another department. It could put you with a new authority figure, which is the 10th house. It could put you in the position of authority as well. All of a sudden, you're the boss. You're like, where did this happen? You can thank the eclipse for that, because this is game-changing energy. It's different than just new moon energy. It can have residual effects over a 6-month period of time. We have our vernal equinox. Oh, now we have people doing lawns too. I might have to pause this. God, it's such a circus out here. It's calm, but it's also like city life. Let's see if it gets too annoying. On the 20th, we have the sun entering Aries. This is the vernal equinox. Everything starts in Aries. So this is the 11th house of social clubs and groups and organizations, friendships, goals, your 11th house of wishes. And the sun is here starting out like it does every year, your new happy new year. It's the first day in astrology, in Western astrology. And in the northern hemisphere, it's the vernal equinox. In the southern hemisphere, it's the autumnal equinox. The next day after the sun moves into Aries, though, on the 21st, Mercury follows suit into Aries. So he leaves that sector where there's a party in the 10th, and he's having you meet, be social, online dating. Mercury in the 11th, you need to get online. And I wouldn't normally recommend this at all. If we were just, having drinks and you were my homegirl, I would say don't do online dating. Run for your life. But with Mercury, the planet of communication and analysis, the review of who your potential suitors could be in the 11th house of the internet, that's a huge transit. So get online. After it turns spring, Gemini, you have some success here. It's about new beginnings, new relationships, new partners, new friendships, new clubs. You're switching it up. And on the 23rd, we have our full moon lunar eclipse at 3 degrees of Libra. This is the 5th house for you. So there's an ending or a culmination in the 5th house of creative endeavors, children. There's an awareness in your relationship with your kids. There's a newness an awareness in how you see yourself as an entrepreneur. For some of you starting entrepreneurial endeavors, you could see that there's something that needs to be seen around this full moon eclipse and how you can work this better. And maybe it might see you put an end to some projects that you did attempt outside of your day job. Maybe it's too much for you and you're cutting off what doesn't serve you there in the creative sense and really just focusing on what it is you need to. It could see some of your kids going away, back to school, or just traveling, going away. Some of your pregnancies might be coming to an end at that time, and it's about birthing. It's about having the baby right at the eclipse, which could be amazing. Good luck with that. For the whole month, we still have Jupiter, who's trining Pluto, and Jupiter is stationed in Virgo, and Pluto's in Capricorn, so it's the Earth trine. And this is in between the fourth house of home and foundation and the eighth house of shared resources and renewal and regeneration. So there's a harmony between these two sectors. They're exactly 120 degrees away from each other, which is what a trine is. But let's get to the tarot. These are thoroughly shuffled. I want to tell you also a few things that I have coming up. For one, if you'd like to book with me, I'm at audreyalison.com, and this is what I love to do. I read all through the week. So if you're interested in booking a reading with me, my readings range from 10 minutes to 90 minutes. You can select whatever time works for you. And obviously the rates change according to the length of time. But you would select the rate that you want, and I would email you back with some available appointment options. Second, I am returning as a special guest to Goddess Alive Radio on February 25th, tomorrow, at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be taking callers live for an hour for free tarot tasters on the radio. So if you call in early enough and get in the queue, you can have a free reading with me on the air. And information regarding that number is on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot, as well as motherhouseofthegoddess.com. And the third bit of news I'm very excited about, I was just asked to be an instructor at mysteryschoolofthegoddess.net, which is also under the Goddess Alive Radio umbrella, under the Mother House of the Goddess umbrella, but it's mysteryschoolofthegoddess.net. I am creating a tarot course, and I'm very excited. I'm writing the course now. I'll have more information next month about that, but I wanted to tell you in case you wanted to take a look to see how that was progressing. I would love to have you as a student, an online course. So let's see what the cards have to say for Gemini for March 2016. Eight of Wands. Things are happening very quickly. And this could be eclipse energy, how he's tossing the wands to the air and they're falling in all different directions. Eclipses do that. They realign, they pick people up, and you could find yourself in a very new situation kind of quickly, which is what the Eight of Wands reminds me of. News and information coming in very fast. Queen of Wands. This is a fire sign, a female, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could also be your rising sign as well. But this is a woman of action, and when this card shows up, it's time for action. And I think when the sun enters Aries, that's the impetus day. That's the catalyst day. That's when it's time to get moving. Aries is an action sign ruled by Mars. The sun is there. There's a lot of fiery energy. The queen knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. And she might be waiting for information to come in first. So right now you have two fire cards, two wand cards. Now you have the Page of Cups. This has a few meanings, and I'll do a summation once I have all the cards out, but this could be represent a child, a spirit of a child. For some of you that are waiting to give birth, I feel like March 23rd might be the day I would pick out of all of the days of March that this child comes into being, when there's a full moon in your fifth house of children. Page of Cups could be a spirit or information or message that is intuitively received through dreams. Because it's cups, it's intuitive and emotional. Let's see what else. Queen of Cups, water sign, female. Also your own psychic ability, your intuition, self-fulfillment, trusting your own instincts, finding answers within, not going outside of yourself for advice. Or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, female. So you have the air sign female has the cups and the fire sign females, but there's another card, Hangman, spirituality or spiritual guidance, rest, downloading, channeling information, taking your time with things so they line up appropriately. A lot of you are being guided right now. I would allow these eclipses to work for you. Take note of your dreams. I said that in a few readings, but that is the general theme of some of these cards and the time that we're in. Pay attention to what you're hearing through your sleep. Don't think it's silly. I always write down what information I get in my dreams. I have a dream book, and then I interpret it later. I see where there's a pattern. I get into stuff like that, but this could help you because there's signs and symbols and numbers, and there's all sorts of books out there regarding angel numbers and dream interpretation. But the message I'd like to say is you're in the process right now of throwing everything up in the air and seeing where the pieces land. Not all of the news or information is here yet for you to make a decision in February or perhaps even the top half of March. But come spring, come that 20th and then the eclipse of the 23rd, things start really falling into place. And perhaps you have the assistance of two literal females, fire and water, around you that help you. But these are very spiritual cards. The Hangman and the Page of Cups. Trust your guidance. Trust spirit. And you know, even the Queen of Cups herself is very psychic. So maybe some of you are getting readings. Maybe you're calling a medium like myself, or a psychic and an advisor. So you have, you know, with all these pieces, you have more direction. I think it'll come to you though. By the end of March, you'll have more pieces regarding the career. You're being elevated here. Some of you are having babies at the end of March, and some of you are progressing in the career sector. I hope this was helpful for you. I appreciate you spending time with me, Gemmy. I'm wishing you a beautiful March, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.